Good afternoon, sixth grade. As you can see, I am not here this afternoon. I have a doctor's appointment and will be back tomorrow. Still, I would like you to keep on working on our operations with fractions. Today we have to do those with story problems. So you have to read very carefully in order to understand what operation you have to do. First, I would like you to go and grab a piece of scratch paper so we can write down a couple words that will tell you what operation you have to use. So pause your video and go and get a piece of scratch paper from the back. So now that you have your piece of scratch paper, I would like you to think about words that tell you that you do addition. Let's start with addition. So if I have addition, what words could you find in the text that tell you to do addition? A real good indicator is always a sum means addition. I would like you to write all of those words down and then keep them by your side so you can check what to do while you're working. If it asks for a total, that also indicates addition. Also addition could be when they ask for or tell you something is increased by, or if something is more than, or plus. All of those words indicate a addition. Then we have next subtraction. Subtraction, clearly we used words such as difference, minus, less than, or decreased by, or subtracted from. Those are all words that you use for subtraction. If I'm going too fast for you, you can pause your video and write all of those words down. I will check tomorrow if you have all of those words written down. Then our third operation we have to look at is multiplication. Okay, so multiplication can be tricky. I know you all know the words times, or if something is twice, that means 2 times, right? Double or triple are other words that they use. But especially in those word problems, they really like to use the word per. Or if you have 5 of that amount of cookies or whatever it might be, then off means multiplication. Last but not least, we have division. And keywords for division is something like a quotient, or something is divided by, or half of something, right? Those are our keywords for division. So I want you to pause the video, make sure you have all of those words written down, and then we get started on our worksheet. So the worksheet we are using today is called, it starts with addition application. I'm going to do a couple with you together, and then you will have to finish the rest of it on your own. All right. So for our first example, we have Elisha. He's a running back on a football team. In the last game, he played for 4 3/4 minutes in the first half and 7 11/20 minutes in the second half. what is his total playing time? So here's our big keyword, is total. Total means we add our fractions together. So we have 4 3/4 plus 7 11/20. Do we all please remember what we have to do? First things first, when we want to add our fractions, we need to turn those fractions in, those mixed numbers, into improper fractions. What means we take the front number, multiply by the bottom, add the top. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 3 is 19/4. And then we add 7 times 20 is 140, plus 11 is 151 over 20. Keep your denominator. So when I add fractions, very important, you have to have a common denominator. My common denominator of 4 and 20 is 20. What means I have to, on this first fraction, multiply the denominator by 5. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So for my first fraction, you should get 95 over 20 plus 151 over 20, which adds up to 246 over 20. Yes, this fraction will simplify before you give this to me as a mixed number. This will simplify to, I can divide both top and bottom by 2. They are both even numbers, so 123 over 10. And this will turn into 12 3/10. Now be careful, you're not done here. This is a word problem. You should have a word in your answer. We're finding the total playing time, so our answer will be 12 3/10 minutes. Okay? So subtraction, I'm not going to show you a problem because it's the same thing. We're just subtraction. So 3 and 4 are subtraction. Now multiplication on number 5. Let's look at that. So I'm working on number 5 now. Susan has 2 cats, Benson and Sadie. If Sadie weighs 11 5/9 pounds and Benson weighs 1 5/16 times the weight of Sadie, how much does Benson weigh? Here's our keyword, times. So that means we have to multiply. All right, so I take 11 5/9 and multiply this by 1 5/16. And I know some of us want to be lazy and don't do this next step, but I promise you, you have to do it. So mixed number, turn this into an improper fraction. 11 times 9 is 99, plus 5 is 104 over 9, times 1 times 16 is 16, plus 5 is 21. So 21 over 16. Now, those are big numbers, and we don't like those because we know we make mistakes. This is why I would cross simplify. 9 and 21 both can be simplified by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Now think about it. Can I also cross simplify the 104 and 16? You can't. You can cross simplify them by 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 104 divided by 8 is 13. Now we have way smaller numbers. This is way nicer. 13 times 7. Now I multiply, and I multiply just straight across. 13 times 7 in my numerator is 91. And 3 times 2 is 6. I cannot simplify anymore, but I can write this as a mixed number, and you should get 15 and 1/6 pounds, because our cats are, their weight is measured in pounds. All right. If you have questions right now, I need you to pause your video and ask a neighbor or ask Miss Tilly if she's still in here, okay? If you understand it, try number 6 and then move on to the back side. On the back side, we have 2 division problems, all right? Don't forget, when you divide, you have to change it into multiplication and flip the second fraction eventually, okay? So let's look at this first problem together. We have a bag that contains 2 5/8 pounds of candy. If the candy is equally distributed to 6 children, how many pounds will each child get? All right, here's a keyword that we don't have on our list yet that you should be adding to your list. Distribute. Okay, to distribute. Get your list, add distribute to your list. So if I divide here, I take my bag of candy, which weighs 2 5/8 pounds, and I divide that to 6 children. All right. First things first, let's write this first fraction at this first mixed number into an improper fraction. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 5 is 21. So 21 over 8 divided by 6 over 1. Now we keep it switch. Keep your first fraction, change your division to multiplication, flip your second fraction around. Now you can cross simplify some things. We can divide 21 and 6 both by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Now you can multiply straight across. 7 times 1 is 7. 8 times 2 is 16. You cannot write this as a mixed number, all right? This is your answer, but again, we're missing words, so 7/16 pounds. We're done with this, and I want you to try those next problems, or the rest of the ones that we haven't done, on your own. You should work quietly on your own. If you have questions, you surely can ask a neighbor, but we're not working in groups. All right, I will go along here quick on those mixed applications. This is where you have to decide yourself what operation you have to do. I will highlight some keywords, so that might help you. This lady has fabric and she wants to make flags. So she has to split up that fabric. Over here, I would use division. There is no good keyword, that's why I'm gonna give it away. On number 10, we have a fish tank and we are draining from the tank. So draining means we took away. For number 11, you have to do 2 different operations. He ran 2 miles. The first mile in 8 1/3 minutes, second miles in 1 8/15 minutes faster than the first mile. So when you find the total time, okay, you have to do 2 operations. this is not his time for the second mile. This is just how much faster he was. Faster, this faster means we have to subtract something. And for the total, I need to add something. That's all the hints I'm gonna give you. And last but not least, on the last one, you also have two operations on number 12. You first have to use the operation that includes this keyword, and then the second operation is this keyword. I want you to try your best. You have a ton of time today to work on this. I know you have at least 25 minutes left, so you should get most of this done. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.